So we saw it. Okay, hold on. Before we get started on anyone, I came prepared for this, so... I know it's back here, damn it. Hold un momento, por favor.
Si, senor.
There you go. So, Sarah's conditioned me for going to see this with me were twofold.
Although I didn't specify a costume.
No, I figure if I'm going to do something ridiculous, I'm going to go all in. So, alright.
Alright, 1, 2,
5, 6, 7, 8.
I ate for the touch of your lips, dear, but much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can raise wealth like nobody else as we dance to the masochism tango. Your heart is as hard as stone or mahogany. That is why I'm in such exquisite agony. Fracture my spine and say that you're mine as we dance to the masochism tango. There we go. Alright. Trying to bring humor to this.
This otherwise weak tale.
And in case you're wondering what that song was, thank you, Tom Lehrer, for writing a shorter, wittier, and more entertaining take on masochism in 1959 than this piece of shit was.
Well, to be fair, this wasn't in 1959, but that's a whole other thing.
No,
Yeah, I know the song was in 1959. I looked at the video you sent me.
Okay.
For background on this.
Yes.
I asked, like, Sarah was kind of my last resort because I know she didn't want to go see it, and I felt bad because I've made her see bad movies lately.
Yes,
I guess it depends how you take Into the Woods, but...
I was okay with Into the Woods.
But yeah, so I asked like 3 different people, all 3 of them told me to fuck off, so... Lauren, in particular, wrote me a very angry text response of why she was not going to go see 50 Shades of Grey.
You did not share that detail.
No, it's actually quite entertaining. Actually, I ran her to the hall on the way over here, and she was like, I'm sorry, as I was walking away. And then finally, like, all right, Sarah, it's going to be you and me. It's like, all right, but I have 2 conditions. 1, you're buying my ticket, of course. And number 2, we're singing this song. Sends me a video link. I'm like, oh boy, okay. Here we go.
Like I said, I wanted to try to make this a little fun.
A little fun, yeah. That's why I brought in the top hat and the fake mustache. Because clearly I take myself so seriously. Speaking of which, let's get into the...
Let's get it on.
No! No! I've never been so turned off by a sexy movie in my life. Eva Green in Sin City 2 turned me on more. At least they acknowledged he was fucking crazy. Well, I'm gonna work my way up to that.
Well, Eva Green is hot. I'm straight and I can recognize that.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've heard a lot of things about this before going into it. Of course, none of us wanted to do it. I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk about this movie, but we have to because it's such pop culture relevance right now.
Yes, that is why I told you, okay, leave me as a last resort, because as a pop culture music nerd or general fan of media, and as somebody who wants to break into it, I recognize that for better or worse, this movie is quintessential pop culture of 2015. God help us all.
And boy, do I have a few things to say about that. Okay, so where do I begin? Okay, so... here's my main issue with this movie, and a lot of people point this out to me, and people who consistently watch my show, and I know there are a few, they comment a lot, should know by now why I do not like this movie, because I have made it perfectly clear in multiple videos how touchy of a subject abusive relationships are to me, and how much they are my rage trigger. Like, there's nothing that pisses me off more. And to have this guy, Christian, whatever the fuck his name is, Christian Grey, and by the way, if you don't get if you don't get the Grey metaphor, don't worry, they hammer that in every fucking place you look in this movie.
Especially in the costumes, color scheme, and cinematography.
Yeah, one of many things to me that was distracting. But this man
Played by the same guy who was the huntsman in season 1 of Once Upon a Time, which he was way hotter in that, and I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Whatever. This guy is such a obvious sociopath who is raising every red flag for an emotional abuser I have ever seen in a film. That was not intentionally doing that, I should add. That's not intentionally trying to present that image. That is this character. He's a psychopathic abuser, and he's purported as the sex icon. I cannot emphasize how much of a problem I have with that. And I'm it's gonna be one of those videos.
I know.
Okay, so...
Like I said, this is your soapbox, I'm just here.
Ignoring the atrocious writing this movie has.
Again, it's based off of a book that was a Twilight fanfiction. What do you expect?
I know I wasn't expecting good, but my God, there were a few lines in this and that really raised my blood pressure. And I'm gonna get to that too.
And a few lines that are repeated over and over and over and over again.
Yes, a lot of those too, but okay. There was a bunch of girls behind us, and we were talking about this on the way back.
That you wanted to punch them in the ovaries?
I want to punch them in the ovaries just so they couldn't reproduce. Here's my issue. This is what's being purported to, like, the tween teenager audience today. That this is thrown in your face as the ideal man. Like, this is what you should be looking for. This is romantic. This is sexy. This is everything. And I'm sorry, but I don't usually go for personal attacks in these videos. But if you're watching this right now, and you're one of these people that think that this Christian Grey guy is the guy you should be looking after, you are part of the fucking problem. This is not what you should be looking for. Like, this is a horrible example of everything that's wrong in current relationship with people.
Teens and tweens...
They're idiots.
Yes, very much so, and they do not have the life experience or perspective yet to recognize what qualities to look for. So of course they're going to be turned on by, oh, he's hot, oh, he's rich, oh, he's showering her with expensive gifts.
So that's not what they're attracted to, though. They're attracted to the mystery, the angsty bullshit, the I'm so tortured, even though there's really no reason we should sympathize with him. He is a horrible human being in everything he does. Everything he does, from beginning to end of the movie, shows that he is a horrible, controlling person who's just as likely to have people murdered in his closet. Like, this is American Psycho if we're supposed to think Christian Bale was romantic.
Yeah.
Minus the chainsaws, which would have made this movie infinitely better.
And American Psycho has a better soundtrack.
Everything in American Psycho is better, because mostly they acknowledge that the main character is a fucking psycho.
Even the main character does. At the end.
It's like, that was my issue. It's like, by the way, the main character in this movie is so fucking bland that there's really nothing to say about her. And I think I've seen the actions in a couple things, and I like her fine. But dear God, there's talented people behind this, and everyone is so wasted on garbage. This is garbage.
It is, yes. Which I was expecting.
I
did not have high hopes for this.
I was expecting that too, but I was not expecting to get as mad as I am right now, obviously, since as soon as Christian Grey's character was introduced, I was just livid. Just full of rage the entire rest of the movie. Because same thing where it's like they're doing that sexy image when all intents and purposes he's raising so many goddamn red flags that anyone with half a brain should tell you, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. Hell, everyone around her starts to say, this is a bad idea towards the end of the movie.
Yep.
And yet it's still promoted, it's still purported as it's like the sexiest romance you can get. Like, he's the guy you want to be with. You can fix him, you can help him. There's even a line in the movie that really made me mad. One of like 2 or 3 I can remember off the top of my head that really just made me, like, one of my eyes start bulging. Is towards, like, I think it was like towards the 3rd act in the movie. I use the term 3rd act loosely. Where she starts getting upset naturally because he's being a controlling dickwad, and she goes, "Why are you trying to change me?" a fair question.
Yes.
To which he replies, no, you're changing me. That one is like, this is exactly how people that get people involved in abusive relationships work. This is the checklist of every creepy fucking thing the most extreme cases these people do. I know this because I've talked to several people who have confirmed this for me. And it is very upsetting to see that, like, again, this is purported to the average audience as the thing you should be looking for in people. Even dumbass teenagers. I don't care if you're dumb, you don't know any better. We should not be promoting this. We should not be doing that. It's like,
don't look at me. I didn't write this shit.
I know. I'm not blaming you. Like you said, this is my soapbox, and you're like the nearest person I can directly talk to. So, just be happy that I'm comfortable enough with you that I can be this loud, angry part of me.
Fair enough. I'll take that as a compliment.
But first, and let's go down a checklist of every horrible thing he does from beginning to end. Okay, first things first is how she meets. It's like she's going to meet Gray for like a college interview because her roommate, who's a journalist, is sick with a fever or something like that. The flu, whatever. And so she goes up there, and after apparently Gray doesn't blink. From what I've gathered, I don't think I saw him blink once in this entire movie.
No.
Which I guess is supposed to be sexy. So that's when I was kind of getting, this is creeping me out. And then that cycle continued through the entire rest of the movie because after the interview's over, he apparently becomes obsessed. And he stalks her to the town that's at least 60 miles away. It's worth noting. I know that because I saw the little freeway sign that said 57, like 90-something miles of Seattle or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I guess 90 miles. But anyway, he stalks her to a place of work, which he had
in Vancouver because she graduated.
Was it Vancouver?
Because in the graduation scene, I read the word Vancouver on the podium. So
okay, so it was Vancouver. Okay. Yeah.
So from Seattle
to Vancouver,
Canada.
Is it, I guess it's, would that, I think that issues immigration if it was in Canada, wouldn't it? I think there's more than one Vancouver.
Oh, the main Vancouver I know of is in Canada, and it's not too far away from Seattle, so geographically it would match up.
Yeah, then it's about immigration. Oh, it doesn't matter. Who cares? She's from some town that's far, far away. That's all it really matters. He stalks her to where she works.
A hardware store?
A hardware store, which she did not tell him. He had no reason to be there as far away as he was.
No, he had a reason to be there.
90 miles away?
I'm just saying that he had an excuse for going to a hardware store.
Yes, where apparently he's watching too much Dexter, so you need to get all the materials you need to become a serial killer. Which she addresses, and he goes, not today. Like,
yeah.
You gonna be a serial killer? He goes, not today. Red flag number dos.
See.
Sorry, 3 from including the stalking.
Yes.
And then it gets worse, because then he tracks her down to where she lives.
Yeah.
Gives her a... Oh, yeah. What did he send her first? I forget.
First edition classic novels. Because she's...
Was there something before that? I thought there was something before that.
That was the first thing.
Oh, right. Because I forgot that the whole photo shoot thing, and then they...
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. There's also... I'm sorry. You want to finish that thought?
So he sends her first edition... classic novels because she's an English lit major, and she had mentioned during the interview with him that she likes Thomas Hardy. And as somebody who splurged on one first edition book, they are not cheap.
That's...
So that was expensive gift number 1.
Yeah, before that, though, there was a red flag number... What am I on now, 5?
You're in... you've listed 3 thus far.
Okay, so it does be number 4. Red flag number 4 is they go on a coffee date. And while on the coffee date, he randomly decides, I don't want to do this anymore. Gets up, walks her out, and when she naturally gets very confused of why he's suddenly just rejecting her, he goes, You can't be with me. I'm no good for you. Shove.
You're doing Batman voice.
Fuck, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't fucking care. I'm angry. I don't care what voice I do. I'll do fucking Irish. I don't fucking care. It's like Bill Murray. Nothing's funnier than a pissed off Bill Murray. Nothing's funnier than a pissed off me. Alright. So, after that piece of nonsense writing, which just made I could not roll my eyes farther back in my head without seeing my frontal lobe. I do not think I could have, because I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is some terrible writing. Because, like, this is, again, it's the obvious, it's like the way The Notebook, which unfortunately I had to see. My ex made me watch it.
Yes, but you mentioned that you
that's another story.
You didn't watch
We don't want to put that on camra.
I'm just saying you didn't watch the whole movie.
On the off chance she's watching.
You didn't watch the whole movie.
I did not watch the whole movie. But anywho, my 50 Shades of Grey aside. I started flashing back to bad memories. Thank you for that.
You were the one who mentioned The Notebook.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna go that direction with it. Thanks. Anywho,
I've never seen The Notebook, and I don't plan to.
Don't.
Even though I like some chick flicks.
It's shameless manipulation of teenage minds. Except Ryan Gosling in that movie wasn't a fucking sociopath. So even in that context, it's better. Question mark. But.
From what I've heard about it, I'm sorry, Alzheimer's is not romantic, so fuck that.
Not romantic. Okay. So that was red flag number 4. Then she sends a book. Red flag number 5. You know, tracking her down to her place where she lives and doing all that creepy stalker shit. And then on a drunken night out.
To celebrate finals being over.
To celebrate finals being over. She has this other friend named, what was the name? Juan?
Jose.
Either way, he disappears in the movie after this. Who's the guy friend who obviously has feelings for her. And, you know, I feel you. I've been there. A lot of people in my position have been there. But, that's a topic for another time. Anywho, so, while she's at the bar, she's had a few drinks and then drunkenly calls Christian, who freaks the hell out.
About her being drunk?
About her being drunk. He says, "You're drunk? How many drinks have you had? What bar are you at? I'm coming to get you." She doesn't tell her where she is. She just calls back and says, "I know where you are. I'm going to get you." Red flag number 6. He tracked her down somehow. I don't know how. And then he's purported as the hero because he shoves off the guy best friend who should not be making a move on a drunk girl in the first place, but...
Thank you!
Yeah, I recognize that too. I'm not an asshole.
Just a general tip to guys. Okay, if you want to tell a gal you like her, great!
Wait till she's sober.
But do it when she's sober and she'll remember it.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, no, that's right. But then he dashes in the last moment and shoves him away right before she vomits. And then takes her back to his place, where she changes her clothes, and he's just a fucking creep. Like, I could keep going through the entire 2 hours of this movie.
A red flag I noticed was when he said, "If you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit for a week." Yes,
thank you. I forgot about that fucking line. That pissed me off, too, because, like, that, again, red flags everywhere. This is a possessive, obsessed man that you should not be spending any time with. In fact, the whole thing with him is he doesn't believe in a relationship, some shit like that.
No, love and flowers is not his thing. That's just not how he is.
Again, could not roll my eyes harder.
And he said that line at least 5 times. That's just not how I am!
Yeah, again, lazy fucking writing. And again, to that point, I so don't care about him because he's clearly just one of the worst examples of human being I've seen in a movie in a long fucking time. I said that fast, so I don't know if he caught me, so I'm gonna say slower for the camera. Just so, you know, the teenagers who are watching this video are gonna hate me for this video because that's happened before. Mostly in the Anchorman video. Like, people hated me for the Anchorman video.
Well, the average viewings of reviews I do with you is only about 30, so go for it.
You never know. I mean, like, the SpongeBob video is surprisingly popular right now. It's got like 40 views. That's like above average for us.
It is.
Yeah, our average is actually growing up. I'm actually kind of happy.
What?
Yeah, I know. Ooh, it only took 2 years. Okay, so I'm going to say it slow for the camera. Christian Grey. I don't know why I'm doing this, like a dinosaur hand, but... Alright, Christian Grey is one of the worst examples of a human being I have seen in a very long time. It would not be so bad if that was intentional. If it was intentional, it might have been kind of interesting. It could have been a way to kind of observe that kind of sadistic mind. Instead, what we got was a lot of romantic bullshit where we're supposed to believe that he's having a positive influence on her and vice versa. I didn't buy that for a second. I could not think of a reason why she's suddenly more confident in herself when all he does every second he's with her is just being increasingly dominating and controlling, and not just the sexual aspect of your life. That's fine. Like, if you like, I want to make this clear, if you like BDSM or bondage, if that's your thing, fine. Good for you. I don't care. But there is a fine line between controlling, like, in that kind of scenario, where, you know, you can still respect each other afterwards, and this, where he is infiltrating and isolating her from every other aspect of her life.
That's abuse.
That is absolutely abuse. And it is clearly evident in this movie. Because there's a part, I think 2/3 of the way in, where, I don't even remember what her fucking name is, but,
Anastasia?
Anastasia, thank you. I was call her Anna, because, again, Anastasia just reminds me of that crappy anime movie that came out years ago. So Anna goes back to visit her folks in Georgia, and when Christian finds out, oh, first off, he just loses his shit right there, like, why didn't you tell me? I need to know these things. Rah, 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 rah. Because you can't go because you're mine. And then, which, again, red flag number, by the time we get to this point, maybe they're around 20, give or take. So, and then that's when the whole, why are you trying to change me? No, you're changing me. No, you're clearly trying to change her, asshole. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. So she goes to Georgia.
To visit her mom and her mom's fourth husband.
Yeah, again, but and this is something we both kind of agreed on watching the movie. It's like her mom and the daughter looked like they're the same age.
They do.
And it was really distracting.
It was.
And it's like, that's all I could see whenever they're on screen together, which isn't very much.
Thankfully, no.
No, because she wasn't a very good actress.
No.
But, while she's there, minding her own goddamn business, Christian tracked her down. She's not even, like, at her home. She's at a random bar somewhere, and he finds her.
When she's having drinks with her mom.
Yeah. And everyone's okay with that? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand this. There's so much, like... at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, she does kind of dump him. We know they're going to get back to her in the sequel, so it comes down to what's the fucking point and wasting my time. And let's talk about the ending, because the conflict in that scenario was one of the most forced conflicts I have seen in a movie in a long time.
It was so weak.
It was so bizarre in how much it was trying to play up this dramatic angle, and it didn't make any fucking sense.
And it wasn't any different from any of the other foreplay he had done to her.
Yeah, and by the way, I never thought I'd be, like, as turned off in a sex scene than I was in this movie. I don't know about you, personally, but, like, all I could think of was, like, man, this is porn.
Yes.
It's not even good porn.
Well, I don't watch porn, so I wouldn't know.
Guy code, we've all taken a glance. But anyway, it's like, this is like, Skinamax has better quality.
You would know.
I don't want to brag, but during my teenage years, this was the porn I watched, and we liked it. I'll watch ghost teens in a teeny bikini over this any day. I'm fairly certain that's a real one. I'm just saying, when you hit that awkward sexual age and everyone else is asleep and you have full access to the television, you look up some weird shit. Anywho, even then it's kind of critical. The acting's so bad. What is with this plot? This makes no sense. I'm revealing way too much about myself in this video. This is coming back to haunt me when I become a clinician.
You must be really difficult to turn on then. If you can't.
That's a conversation for another time. We are not talking about that in this video.
If you can never turn off the criticky part of your brain, what?
It depends. It's like, you know, sometimes it's like when I'm watching a bad movie that I'm kind of enjoying, like, that doesn't make any sense. Fuck it, I'm having a good time, so who cares? So just translate that into porn, and, you know, same basic concept.
Okay.
It's like watching a Nicolas Cage movie. Yeah, it's not good, but I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Okay.
Anywho, well, I've been way too revealing in this video. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, yes, the unsexy bondage scenes. And it wouldn't have been so bad if they didn't play like a bad pop song every time a sex scene happened.
That was distracting.
Yeah, okay, so it was for you too. I wasn't sure it was just me. Because I'm not sure if I want to watch bondage scenes to Beyonce's greatest hits, but...
No. No.
I feel like I've been doing most of the talking. Like, what was your impression of this movie? Now that I've calmed down a little bit, I've got a lot of it out of my system.
It was not a good movie, and I am glad that I didn't have to pay for it. And the costumes and color scheme were blatantly gray.
This is my top hat of shame.
And
go ahead.
It's poorly written. It undermines the intelligence of the audience. Granted, the audience that it is drawing, at least if the people in our theater were any indication, are not overly intelligent.
Yeah, like the guy who just started blatantly talking on a cell phone about halfway through the movie. Did you hear that guy?
No.
He was like in the back corner somewhere. I think he was talking on the phone because he wasn't being very quiet. He was like, yeah? Oh, yeah! Like, I wanted to walk up and go, dude, I don't want to see this movie either, but shut the fuck up.
There are more specific comments that I could give, but like you, I don't want to get too specific.
Like, now you got me curious. Like, give me an example. Was it about some of the sex scenes, or? Because if that dives into like personal territory, I'll understand why you don't want to talk about that. But
if you want me to answer that, you have to turn the camera off.
Fair enough. I will respect that. Speaking of other things I forgot to mention before we get on to the weird climax of this movie, there was one other line that bugged the crap out of me. And
one?
Well, one in particular that I really tensed up at in particular. And could be a case of where I might be reading too much into this. But there's a line in the movie when Christian and...
Anna.
I was going to say Bland Girl, but, you know, whatever comes first. When Christian and Bland Girl are doing romantic things in Georgia, Christian gets a phone call about something in the office. We never find out what. So he has to go back, and Anna's sitting in his car with her mom, and the mom says something like, I wish I could tell you it gets easier, but you just learn more about yourself. And that line... Okay, that one I need to explain a little bit, because off the cuff, it sounds like a harmless enough comment. But
offhanded. Yes.
Offhanded makes sense. But here's my issue with this movie. It kind of implies that the male doesn't have to change at all.
Well, the thought of one person in a relationship intentionally trying to change the other person into someone that they are not is a sign of an unhealthy relationship. Knowing, communicating, and accepting that each person, and therefore the relationship, will change over time, that's healthy.
No, you're right. And my problem with that, though, is that when it seems like he can do whatever he wants, it's up to you to change, to fill up his needs and what he wants you to do. So, like, you just learn more about yourself. To me, it's a backhanded way of saying be submissive, when really that's not a good relationship at all. That's what you just said. It's not a good way to do a relationship. That one, maybe, again, that one I will admit I may be reading too much into. But,
I could kind of see that.
Yeah, so that bothered me. Like, I feel like the approach is like, don't worry, you guys just need to figure out a system. That would have been a better approach, because that would at least require, talking, communication, cooperation.
Yes, in any relationship, even just a sexual one, especially in a sexual one, communication is key.
Yeah, because, I was thinking if we get one more awkward sex scene with bondage, it was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, for a rated R movie, they got away with a lot.
Well, I mean, yeah. Even then, it wasn't very good. It was like, I don't know. When I find the sex scene from, what was that movie with Sharon Stone?
Oh, Fatal Attraction?
No, not Fatal Attraction, the other one.
Oh, it's Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct, yeah. It's like, when that one involves psychotic killer and the sex scenes are more hot than this one, you kind of have a problem. Maybe it's just the threat of death. I don't know. Maybe it turns other people on. But that movie also had bondage. Let's also point that out. That movie also had bondage in it.
I never saw it.
Well, again, teenage years and YouTube. But, actually, no, YouTube wasn't a thing back then. Whatever was available at the time.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
So you...
Yes, the climax.
You didn't, think that Dakota Johnson naked was hot?
The problem is like, it was, again, obviously pandering to the audience, but it was obviously much more focused on the guy than the girl in the sex scenes in the video, in the movie. So I was like, I'll give him credit, he works out, and it's also kind of nice someone else has, chest pimples, but, because I can't be the only one who noticed that. But I guess I was. I don't know. Ingrown hairs, they can be a bitch, but I digress.
I didn't say anything.
But yeah, otherwise there's like, this is over-dramatized nonsense. Like, that's all I
Duh.
I know, but it was like more blatant in those scenes, like where it's trying to be sexy and hardcore, and this is erotic, this is new, this is exciting. It's like, no, it's not. This is very common. A lot of people do this. You're trying to make it like some taboo thing. The whole movie acts like it's some forbidden thing, and for some people, yeah, it is. Fine, whatever.
This is
but
one of the more explicitly mainstream advertisements of it, shall we say.
Yeah, and I will admit, I don't think I've ever heard the phrase vaginal fisting ever used in a film before, so there's that going for it.
Me neither.
Which, yeah, take that as you will. I don't judge. I don't judge. But, okay, I judge a little bit, but it depends on how far we're going. If we start going to bad territory, I'm gonna judge you a little bit. You leave Billy alone. Mary had a little bear. Bestiality jokes. You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
You did that very well.
I guess that makes it real. I'm not proud of that one. Okay, so finally I'll talk about this climax. Okay, so what happened?
Yeah, you've been building up to it.
Fuck, I brought that on myself.
Yes, you did.
That sounds like, it's almost like a bad James Bond pun. She always did like to be on top. Yeah. Oh, no, that wasn't it. It was, she always liked a good squeeze. That was it. That was the line. All right. So what happens is, I don't even really know why. After another rousing scene of sexery, sorcery, I made it funny. Anyway, they have this really argumentative talk. just kind of comes out of nowhere of, why won't you up to me? Why do you want to punish me? Which is, again, fair questions.
Yes.
And something that if I knew, I might find you interesting and not no, I'd still find you a complete asshole, but at least I might find you an interesting asshole. Mm-hmm. But he goes, you wouldn't understand if I told you. You never look at me the same way again. You know, angsty shit. That makes everyone go, oh, he's so mysterious. I want to bone him. Yeah. Anyway, and then that's literally what it comes down to. It's like, why do you like to do this? Because that's the way I am. And that's supposed to be acceptable. And then instead of going, no, I don't understand, explain, again, fair question. Mm-hmm. She decides to go, well, then I want you to show me the worst kind of punishment you can give me, just so I understand. And I'm like, how in any way is that gonna help you understand?
And he doesn't even leave any marks.
No, he spanks her twice, like 6 times with a belt, and then she gets really upset, even though, just like you said, there's no welts, there's no major markings. Yeah. She's perfectly fine.
It wasn't that much different from any of the other foreplay they had done.
The whip is worse. Not that I would know on that one, okay, to be fair, but it's like, it's that kind of thing, you know? If you're fine with the other one, I don't get why this would be a problem, unless he left some clear mark, in which case, yeah, I would fucking get it. But either it was there and they didn't show it, or it wasn't there. In which case, she's way overreacting.
I didn't see any marks on her back at all.
Yeah, I didn't see... I mean, it was on her ass, so you had to look more south. But even then, I didn't see anything in the brief glance they got. So I was like, I don't really get what your problem is. On the other hand, good, I'm glad you're leaving. You should get out of this terrible relationship with this terrible human being. Instead, we get the, I think I'm falling in love with you. No. And again, doing the Batman voice. You can't fall in love with me. Because I'm Batman. It actually just sounds like something that would happen in a Batman comic now that I mention it.
Yep.
But it's just so overdramatic and so over the top and so forced that the only blessing in disguise was I was just glad the movie was over.
Yes.
Because it ends with them tearfully saying goodbye to each other on the elevator, which is a callback to an earlier scene in the credits roll. It's like, thank you, Jesus Christ. I wish... I would be perfectly fine if this was the end of the series, if it just ended on that. It's like, okay, good. She learned her lesson. She moved on to someone who actually gave her a healthy relationship. But no, it's just sequel bait for the other one. We get to learn how tortured he is and why he's the true victim, and she just needs to understand him. And basically, she needs to change to fulfill his overly controlling, abusive behavior, which, again, great lesson to teach teenage girls. So I think if you cannot gather from my long-winded, very, very emotional rant about this, I did not like this film.
And I cannot in good conscience recommend it.
Yeah. I feel like I've done most of the talking here. Is there anything else you wanted to add or anything you wanted to throw in there?
It's a piece of crap. I expected it to be a piece of crap.
Fair enough.
Trailers.
Yes. Do this quick, because I think you still got your thing, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so... pull up my notes here. Okay, so we basically got a trailer for every teenage girl bait we can that is coming out over the next few months.
Yeah. Pitch Perfect 2. Yeah. My second time seeing a trailer for this movie. They showed a few more scenes, or a few different scenes in this trailer than in the previous one, and well, the first Pitch Perfect wasn't great. It was better than this trailer looks.
Yeah, this movie looks atrocious. So, again, it comes down to, I'm really sick of that actress. You know, the pudgier one.
Yeah.
That's all they do with her weight or anything like that. It's just the fact that she does the same shtick in every fucking movie she is, and it's never funny. I have not laughed once at anything she's ever done. Because I'm the arrogant fat girl. That's my whole gimmick.
Oh, the confident fat girl.
It borders on arrogance, but in fact, it is fucking arrogance.
Okay.
I'm so tired of her because she won't go away. She's not funny. She's not really talented. I really like Anna Kendrick. I love Anna Kendrick. She's adorable.
She is,
and she has a very kind of disturbing yet fantastic sense of humor. So you should read her Twitter page. It's hysterical. But I think one I saw just earlier today was when she goes, I don't know why I buy cooking magazines at the airport. I might as well buy porn. I'm going to read, I'm going to get excited, but I can't do anything about it.
Nice.
I think it was another one, but she just had Katy Perry's performance, like, thinking for the Oscars or something like that. When she goes, like, great voice, Katy Perry. Very nice boobies, too. That's also not a joke. Like the one that says, go, Katy, go. Hashtag still staring at those titties, though.
Is she bi?
I don't know, but either way, it's like, yeah, I like her. So, yeah, that was Pitch Perfect 2. I'm not looking forward to it. Then we got a Nicholas Sparks movie, which was The Longest Ride. Where, hey, let's compare World War II veterans. I think it was World War II. Or some kind of war.
Yeah,
maybe it was Vietnam. Probably Vietnam.
I think it was World War II.
Yeah, either way, some for a Vietnam old guy to the trials of bull riding.
And, yeah, if you like The Notebook, you'll like that one, because it looks pretty
It's a Nicholas Sparks movie. You know exactly what you're getting into.
And, yeah, it looked lame. Next.
That might be the case where Sal's got Erwin around, draws short straws. Or a name out of a hat. Then we got Magic Mike 2. Which, I don't know, that one's... I heard the first one wasn't bad.
I still need to see the first one, and...
I can tell it's not for me, but I heard the first one wasn't bad.
Yeah, so... I think this trailer showed that it knows what it is. And as somebody who is of the demographic audience, I am okay with that.
Fair enough. That's when I was like, okay, if you want to watch that, fine. At least you'll admit you know exactly what it is. You're not trying to pretend it's anything it's not.
Yeah,
I mean,
2 hours of eye candy.
I mean, I actually like Channing Tatum as a comedic actor. Like, when he wants to be funny, he can be really fucking funny. So, like, if he's looking like he's having as much fun as he clearly is in this trailer, you know, it could be fine. I know it's going to be embarrassing for me to go see, but, because I'm going to have to go see it. So, movies like this, guys, I hope you appreciate what I do for you. I just want to point that out there. Like, I've seen this, I saw The Loft, I saw so much shit last year and the year before that. I sat through Smurfs 2 and Grown Ups 2 for you guys. And anyway.
Back in season 1.
Way back in the day. Alright, so... You got anything left?
If you're watching this video, odds are you've probably already seen this movie, or you are thinking about seeing it. If you are in the latter category, save your money and rent a light porn instead.
Go watch Skinamax.
And
I don't know if they still make stuff. They probably do. But
it's
probably gotten better since my day.
It's adapted from a Twilight fanfic. It's a piece of crap. You should know that going in.
And just like Twilight, it checks off all the criteria for emotionally abusive relationships. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we got McFarland USA later this week. We got The Duff, which is normally that doesn't make any sense to me.
Although I did hear a positive review about that.
Like, The Duff has fairly good reviews, like 64% right now or something like that, which is surprising to me. But
and I think that the leading actress in it is Amber from Parenthood.
Yeah, she is, and that's what confuses me, because she's not ugly at all. She's I think she's very attractive.
I think so too.
So it's like, I don't get why they're trying to play her up as she's the ugly one. Hollywood standards.
Hollywood standards, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we'll probably check those out later this week. So, we got Hot Tub Time Machine 2 I gotta watch too. That's gonna be fun. Hey Grant, you busy? So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.